Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box here on Jared Takes the L, and I have another fantastic episode for you guys here today because we are finally, it's kind of been, it's a bit delayed, I know, but we are finally taking a look at the Funko Pops from the most recent Godzilla movie, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, which came out like late March of this year. So yes, I know I am a little late, but you know, as they say, better late than never. Also, I do apologize if you do hear the bells in the background. Steve finally got his collar back, so he's he's making some noise. So if you happen to hear bells, that would be him. But let's take a look at today's pops. We have 5, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer one compared to what we've been doing. Although I know we did have the Ruin figures last week. That one also had 5, I believe. Yeah, it did. That one had 5, so I guess it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility. And I think they're making a mess back there, but that's okay. So we are going to get things started, of course, with one of the main characters of the movie. I don't know how many more of these pops we could possibly get. This is starting to turn into a Spider-Man situation, but we have yet another Godzilla pop. Of course, this one is from the Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire movie. As you can see up there, it's number 1539. What are you guys doing back there? I think they're just playing. 1539 of the Pop Movies lineup. The box, I love the box design. Everything looks really, really cool. Even has the MonsterVerse logo. There's, of course, everybody else from the wave. We are going to see all of them except for, of course, the 2 6-inch pops of Godzilla and Kong. But everybody else will be in the video, so give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Steve and Marshmallow were being very rambunctious, so I had to help them out back there. But okay, as I was saying, there's Godzilla. Let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at yet another pop from the King of the Monsters. You really can't go wrong with Godzilla stuff, you know. It is Godzilla's 70th anniversary this year. Can neither confirm nor deny whether Funko's going to have anything for the anniversary, but if there is, then you can definitely expect to see plenty more Godzilla on the way. But here it is, this Godzilla, of course, being from the MonsterVerse movies. We did do a Godzilla video earlier this year that was based on the anime, Godzilla Singular Point. But this one, of course, is based off of his appearance in the MonsterVerse movies. And he does have a little bit of a new look in this one. Rather than having the blue scales and the blue, energy that he had in the last movie, he actually has a pink energy, which I can't really, do I give spoilers? I don't think I really should quite yet. The movie's still kind of fresh. It is going to be on, I think it is on digital. It's going to be on Max actually next week, I think. But he does have these pink energy spikes for a reason. So I guess I won't get into the details too much, but there is a reason for that. He also comes with another one of these, another heat ray thing that you can attach on the inside of the mouth there. There is a hole, and it does attach just like that. So we've seen this quite a few times, actually. We saw it with the Godzilla vs. Kong wave back in 2021. We also saw it with the Godzilla Singular Point video just earlier this year. They sure do love giving him the heat ray. But there it is, another awesome Godzilla pop to the collection. Who knows how many more of these we'll get. Like I said, it might end up being a Spider-Man kind of situation. Alright, the next one, we actually have seen this, we've seen this guy fairly recently. We saw him in the Target Con video that we just did was that just last month? Was that in May? Gosh, I don't even remember. That's how long it's been. But it is, of course, Kong, because you can't have a Godzilla and Kong video without Godzilla and Kong. So here is yet another Kong pop. It's Pop Movies number 1540. This one does look fairly similar to the Target Con one, so I don't think there's going to be too much to talk about here, but we still got to open it up and see what it's all about. So here he is. It's Kong once again. And just like the Target Con pop, he does have his mechanical, or his not a mechanical arm, but it's like an upgrade, because I guess I kind of have to do a little bit of a spoiler, so here's a spoiler alert warning. His hand is badly injured in battle, so they add this like cybernetic, or they add this like upgrade to his arm so he is able to use it. The rest of the figure is kind of, I guess, basic, just because, Kong doesn't have a crazy design. Godzilla really doesn't either, if you think about it, but at least he does have a little bit more to it. He also still has the scratches on his chest right there. I don't remember if he actually had that in the movie or not, or if they just kind of carried that over from the Godzilla versus Kong wave, but nonetheless, this one does look pretty cool as well. I do like the designs on it. Again, don't have to talk about it too much because we just did a Kong pop in the Target Con video, but this one is still a great addition, and I figured, like I said, I couldn't do the video without having Kong in it at all. It would have been kind of silly. Now it's on to the 3 new characters. The first one here is a bit of a neutral character. Kind of started off as a bad guy, but then ended up becoming more sympathetic, and then eventually just outright good by the end. I guess the same could be said for one of the other characters we'll be looking at here as well. But this is Suko. A lot of people originally believed that they were going with a Son of Kong concept for the story. Not quite. This isn't Kong's son at all by any means. It is part of the Kong tribe that Kong ends up running into midway through the movie. Suko is part of that tribe that is, of course, ran by the Skar King, who we will be seeing here fairly shortly. But this is Pop Movies number 1543. And yeah, at this point onward, gonna have to give it a spoiler alert because the rest of these characters all have some relevance to the plot. Not that Godzilla and Kong didn't, but these guys are all pretty much spoiler characters right off the bat. But there is Suko's box. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Jeez. But yeah, Suko kind of starts off as a bit of an antagonist to Kong, but he ends up kind of warming up to him, and Kong kind of takes him in under his own wing. The pop itself's pretty decent. It's very similar to Kong's, just a lot smaller. They also gave him green eyes, and he also does have a scar on his eye there as well, which I'm trying to remember in the movie if Skar King gives him that or if that was already there by this point. The pop itself, it is a little... It doesn't really quite look like Suko that much, but it's still pretty good. I will give him that. I will say probably my least favorite so far, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think compared to Kong and Godzilla, there's just not too much detail on this one. But it's still a fine pop. It's a good one in the collection. Suko is a pretty important character, so it's no surprise that Funko would try to release a pop for it. Although I do think it did, it doesn't really look like him all that much. But, it's still there. It's still Suko. So there he is. And now on to definitely the villain of the movie. There's no doubt about that. Very, he's just not a great character. I mean, he's very mean towards the other Kongs, and just overall just a very nasty character, but he gets his comeuppance, thankfully. But I am, of course, talking about Skar King. This is Pop Movies number 1541. They definitely make you hate this character. That's all I'm gonna say. When you watch it, he's just a jerk. But nonetheless, he is a good character, just in the sense that he's a good villain. And there's everything, of course, on the back and over there. I remember when they first did the teaser for the movie, Skar King was kind of front and center on all of the promotional materials for it. And surprisingly enough, Skar King himself is not much of a threat by himself. Like, Kong actually almost defeats him when they have a 1v1. So he's more of a tactical kind of character. He's not exactly the most powerful. Godzilla himself would have probably defeated Skar King if he didn't have his secret weapon, who you'll be seeing here shortly. But nonetheless, Funko did a pretty good job with this one. They did capture the, the face paint that he's got going on here. He's got like the white eyes, which that is actually accurate, like the pale white eyes. That's really accurate to the character. He has the little whatever this is exactly, the bone, the like the sash made out of bones. He does have that right there. Some more paint down here and more of the red fur. Skar King is a fairly old character from what I remember. I mean, he's from like Godzilla's time, I believe. So he's a fairly older character, and they do capture that, you know, with the mannerisms and everything. Even so, just even the design. This is a really cool one. I do like this. I think Funko actually nailed this one. So definitely a fan, or not really a fan of Skar King, but I'm a fan of the pop, nonetheless. And now it's time for the last one. This is my personal favorite character from the New Empire. I wish that she had gotten more screen time, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But what she did have, it was really, really cool. Also a very sympathetic character because, well, I'll just show you. It is, of course, Shimo, another character created specifically for the movie, as was Suko and Skar King. None of them existed prior to this movie. Shimo is not a villain by any means. She appears to be that way in all of the promotional materials, but she's actually under the control of Skar King. And truly, without Shimo, Skar King would not have stood a chance against Godzilla and Kong. But Shimo is an ancient titan who is incredibly powerful and is also able to spew ice. So that's kind of her big thing. Very dangerous against Godzilla and Kong. But spoiler alert. Okay, I gave you enough time there to skip it if you didn't want to. If you didn't want to hear it, but Shimo is freed by the end of the movie and becomes an ally to Godzilla, Kong, and Suko. So that's good because, you know, I was really hoping they weren't going to kill Shimo off. I thought it was too cool of a character to be killed off just like that. But there it is right there. This is a really hard pop for Funko to make because Shimo is a very large character. Like it would have made sense to make this one a 10-inch pop. But they did good, honestly, for what they were given. So here is Shimo, the only one of the characters to be on all fours. That's just kind of how it was set up. This one actually does look fairly accurate. The face and everything is really well done. She, of course, does have the ice spikes, icicle, whatever things on her back that lead all the way down to her tail. It is implied in the movie that Shimo and Godzilla have fought before, since they are both ancient. But this is a really cool pop. They even got the textures and everything of like the reptilian style down. Also have little claws and everything down there. And they also did give her an ice ray that you can also attach on the inside of her mouth. And there you go. Just like that, Shimo has an ice ray that you can put up against Godzilla's heat ray. So this kind of brings you back to like Godzilla versus Kong. When they had that wave, they had the Mecha Godzilla that had the red laser that you could put up against Godzilla. So now there's one, you can do Godzilla and you can do Shimo. Since they were, I guess, the rivals, well, Kong and obviously Skar King were the rivals, respectively. But yeah, there is Shimo. Big fan of this one. I think Funko absolutely knocked it out of the ballpark. Now I guess we gotta do the ratings. I think all of these pops were incredibly well done. I think, if I had to be honest with the ratings, Godzilla... Oh, boy, this is actually kind of a tricky one. I know for a fact that Shimo and Skar King are going to get 9 out of 10 because their designs are definitely more complex and they were actually done really, really well. I feel like, do I want to put Godzilla in the 9 as well? I don't know. It's because his is also really, really... Okay, so fine. Godzilla, Shimo, Skar King, I'll get 9 out of 10. Kong and Suko will get 8 out of 10. Mainly just because Godzilla, Shimo, Skar King have a lot more detail, whereas Kong and Suko don't necessarily have it, but they are still really accurate, and I do still like them. Now that I'm looking more at the Suko pop, it is actually kind of reminding me of Suko. Like, it does look like Suko. I think I was just looking at, I think I was just having a hard time seeing it at first, but I do see it now. after kind of picturing it in my head. So, okay, yes, Godzilla, Skar King, Shimo, all get 9 out of 10. Kong and Suko, 8 out of 10. But let me know down below what you guys think, because your review definitely could be much more different than mine. Let me know which is your favorite, whether it is the Godzilla with the heat ray, or it could be Kong, Suko, if I can get to the other two, Skar King, or, again, my personal favorite, Shimo with the ice ray. So let me know down below which is your favorite, guys. Next week, we are going to have a really cool episode of Jared Opens a Box, because it's going to directly tie into an episode of Jared Takes the L that we have next week. A little bit of a spoiler, a little bit of a teaser up there if you can see it. It is kind of far away, but you might be able to zoom in. That one's going to be really cool. Really excited for that. It's a first here on not only Jared Opens a Box, but also Jared Takes the L. So really looking forward to that, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we will have some more Godzilla soon. There's none at the moment, but hopefully there will be some more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.